So I said early on in this whole thing that my Facebook profile was hacked, and I freaked out for a minute. And then I remembered that I had downloaded my contacts list sometime in 2021, and so I looked at that and I was like, "Oh, what a relief!" And then, how do I be in contact with these people? Because the primary place that I had made connection and and connected with people and communicated with people was via Facebook. So, note to self, set that up a little bit different in the future. What it caused in me is I went, oh my God, okay, where else do I have resources? I looked at my phone and my phone has, 250 people. I started this process back in at Valentine's Day because my friend Anne, um, she sends cards not at Christmas time. She sends them for Valentine's Day, which I think is so smart. And I hadn't prepared for that, so I decided to make phone calls. And I reached out to like, I don't know, 50 some odd people. It was great. Everyone was so excited to hear from me. And it'd been a long time. And that's kind of a hard thing to do, to reach out to people kind of that you haven't talked to in a while. But the good news was everybody was happy to hear from me. So look, I made contact, I reached out. One of the pieces of this puzzle is to step up, step out, reach out. It's so hard to do sometimes, especially if you've been struggling with anxiety or depression or just general life overwhelm, to get yourself to take the initiative to reach out to people. But the surprising effect, at least in my experience, and I'd love to hear back from y'all if you have that experience too when you reach out to people. Folks love to be being thought of. It's just like we want to be seen, heard, and understood. We also want people to remember us and to reach out to us. So I started thinking about your resources. Your resources if you're in a rough place, your resources if you want to celebrate something. You want to have that list as updated as possible. So this is our opportunity to start reaching out to people and inviting them back into our life. Because what if our world, our life was what happens next is our best life yet? Because I think that there's been so many challenges in the last little bit that we're kind of gun shy is a terrible turn of phrase, but we're concerned about everything. And so I saw this exercise. I'm just going to share it with you. What if everything turns out better than you can possibly imagine? I mean, mostly if you're struggling with anxiety like I have, then you kind of look out for where things are going to go awry. It's hyper vigilance. You're always looking, worried about the other shoe dropping. You can't quite um, enjoy life as much as you would think you want to, because if you enjoy it too much, then if when like it always has, right? Your life experience has showed you that it's just going to go to shit at some point, and so you don't want to enjoy it too much because then the fall is further and harder. But I've made the decision that my life was better when I focused on nourishing the good, looking for the good, pointing it out to other people when I saw it in them. I felt better about my life when I pointed out what I was seeing that was great in other people's lives. And a little bit of that is like getting into the habit of also looking for the good within myself. So you'll see and hear me as I'm learning this process, doing this more and more all the time, is celebrating the good in me. So that's a little bit of an aside. I talked about the Facebook thing and just different places where you can look for where your resources are. do an inventory of your resources, especially if you're feeling like you hate your job or you lost your job and you've got to get new work. Um, or you want to bring your work into the world in a new and different way. What are your resources? Who are the business people that you can reach out to? Who are the friends and family you can reach out to? Go back through your file cabinets and your closets. Um, Look into archives of your history. We're going to be doing this slowly over time, over our 30 days together. There'll be exercises around this. But just now, I'm planting seeds. This is all we're doing. I'm planting a seed that you have resources at your disposal, including old, old file folders, your uh, uh, file cabinet, um, old computers. You can fire those things back up if they're still working and go, wow, I was working on these projects and it still sparks something in me that I want for my life. I set it aside. I put it away because I didn't have the tools to know how to bring it forward. Well, maybe now is the time to bring it forward. I want you to start thinking about your life as like this puzzle piece that you worked on some pieces over here and you worked on some pieces over here. And this is like an improvisation of an amalgamation of putting it back together and going, whoa, what about this? I'd love to do this. Or I'm going to go looking for the organization that's doing what I want to do because I don't like doing stuff alone. I like being part of things that are bigger than me and that I have a team surrounding me so that I can come to more success that way. All of it's good. All of it's good. I just want this process of taking inventory, taking stock of all the people that you've met in the past who inspired you haven't reached out to in a while. Maybe now's the time to give them a shout out. See if you can find them on social media. See if you can find them on LinkedIn. It's actually this is the quest. This is the quest. This is the adventure. Is finding the people and making the connections and enjoying the process. Reaching out to people and letting them know that they were thinking that you were thinking of them. That's what I'm doing in this process is that if you're receiving these emails, these preliminary videos, it's because you're on my list. I've been thinking about you. When I went through my list of my Facebook friends, and I saw people's names and their faces popped up, and I was sad for a moment because I was like, "Oh God, I'm never going to be able to." No, I can go find them again. It's kind of more challenging, but it's also what's the blessing in disguise here? I get to reframe the conversation and I don't have all the junk that I created in that old Facebook profile. So, blessing in disguise. And, I get to reach out to who I want to reach out to and say, You inspired me. I want to know more about you and your life, where you are at right now in your life. What are you learning? What have you learned? What wisdom do you have to share? This is what we're doing. How can we celebrate? How can we nourish the good in you? How can we celebrate you and the successes and sugar you in the losses so that you can do your greatest healing? So that with the potential of what if all of this is leading to beautiful things beyond our wildest imagination. And we had to lose so much in order to live our best life yet because it puts things into perspective. So that's the thought of the day, and we'll be in touch soon. Take care.